Have you ever been caught off guard by a sudden, overwhelming wave of fear? A feeling that seems to come out of nowhere, gripping you with intense and unexpected force? Your heart pounding in your chest like a drum, each beat echoing the rising panic within you. It's a physical sensation that's hard to ignore, a stark reminder that something is terribly wrong. Breath short and shallow, as if you can't quite fill your lungs, leaving you gasping for air and struggling to regain control. And your mind racing, thoughts spiraling out of control, creating a whirlwind of anxiety and dread. That's a panic attack. It can feel like your body and mind have turned against you, betraying you in a moment of vulnerability, leaving you feeling completely disconnected and out of sync. Leaving you helpless and adrift, struggling to find your footing in a sea of overwhelming sensations. But panic is not a sign of weakness. It doesn't reflect your inner strength or resilience. It's your brain's ancient survival system misfiring, a false alarm triggered by a perceived threat. In our modern world, this alarm can be triggered by a multitude of factors, often unrelated to immediate physical danger. By thoughts or memories, not just real danger lurking around the corner, but by the echoes of past experiences and anxieties. The good news? You're not powerless in the face of panic. You have the capacity to understand and manage these experiences. Understanding panic, demystifying its origins and mechanisms, is the first step to regaining control and reclaiming your peace of mind. When you know what's happening within your body and mind, when you can recognize the signs and symptoms, it becomes less mysterious and frightening, less able to hold you captive in its grip. You can learn to observe the storm of panic, to witness its intensity without being consumed by it, not be swept away by it, but rather to navigate through it with greater awareness and resilience. This video will guide you through the complexities of panic, offering insights and strategies to help you understand and manage these experiences. We'll delve into the science of panic, exploring the underlying mechanisms that contribute to these intense episodes. We'll examine the brain's role in the panic response, uncovering the neural pathways and processes that are activated during these moments. And we'll provide you with practical tools and techniques such as breathing exercises and mindfulness practices to help you find calm amidst the storm. We'll explore what triggers panic, helping you identify the specific situations, thoughts, or feelings that may be contributing to your experiences. We'll clarify how it differs from anxiety, distinguishing between these two related but distinct experiences, and most importantly, what you can do about it, providing you with actionable steps and strategies to manage panic and reclaim your life. You have the power to change your relationship with panic, to transform your experience from one of fear and helplessness to one of understanding and empowerment. Let's begin this journey together, embarking on a path towards greater understanding, resilience, and inner peace. A panic attack is more than just feeling stressed or worried. It's a sudden, overwhelming surge of intense fear, a tidal wave of anxiety that seems to come out of nowhere. It can feel incredibly frightening and disorienting. The intensity of a panic attack peaks within minutes, often in just a few seconds. But the feeling can seem endless, stretching out time and making you feel trapped in a terrifying loop. It's as if time itself slows down, amplifying the fear. During a panic attack, your body goes into fight or flight mode, an ancient survival mechanism kicking into high gear, even when there's no real danger present. This is your body's way of preparing to confront a threat, even if that threat is only perceived. Your heart races, pounding in your chest like a drum, as if you've just run a marathon. You start sweating, your palms become clammy, and beads of perspiration form on your forehead, a physical manifestation of the inner turmoil. You experience trembling, your hands shaking uncontrollably, a visible sign of the intense anxiety coursing through your veins. You feel shortness of breath, struggling to catch your breath, as if you're not getting enough air. These symptoms are very real and can feel like a medical emergency, leading you to believe something is seriously wrong with your health. It's important to remember that while frightening, these symptoms are usually not life-threatening. Mentally, you might think you're dying, having a heart attack, or losing control of your mind and body, spiraling into a state of panic and fear. You might experience derealization, feeling detached from reality, as if you're watching yourself from outside your body, or depersonalization, feeling detached from yourself like you're not really there. This creates a vicious feedback loop. Physical symptoms fuel scary thoughts, amplifying your anxiety and making you feel even more panicked, which, in turn, make the physical symptoms even worse, creating a self-perpetuating cycle of fear and distress. but it's crucial to remember that these sensations, while incredibly uncomfortable, are not dangerous. They will pass. They're caused by a surge of adrenaline, a stress hormone, triggered by a false alarm in your brain, not by an actual threat to your physical safety. The alarm is triggered by internal cues, thoughts, memories, physical sensations, or even subtle changes in your environment that your brain misinterprets as danger. It's a false alarm, a misinterpretation of signals, not a reflection of real danger. Recognizing this is a panic attack, acknowledging what's happening, helps break the cycle of fear and anxiety. Remind yourself that it's temporary, a false alarm, and that you've experienced this before and survived. You are not your panic. You're the observer, the one experiencing the sensations, but not defined by them. And because you're the observer, you can influence your response, choosing how you react to the sensations and thoughts. Creating this mental space, this distance between yourself and the panic, is the first step to regaining balance and control. With practice and the right tools, you can learn to ride out the storm, to navigate the waves of panic without being overwhelmed. You have more control than you think. You have the power to manage your response to panic and reclaim your inner strength. Deep in your brain are the amygdala, your emotional smoke detectors. Their job is to scan for danger and sound the alarm instantly, triggering fight or flight. This system is fast and automatic, designed for survival. But the amygdala can't always tell real threats from imagined ones. A stressful thought or memory can set off the same alarm as a real emergency. That's why panic can strike even when you're safe. Understanding this helps you see panic as a biological process, not a personal flaw. You can't turn off the amygdala, but you can send it signals of safety. Use your thinking brain, your prefrontal cortex, to assess the situation rationally. Techniques like deep breathing and mindfulness calm your body, signaling to your brain that the danger has passed. With practice, you can reset your internal alarm. You're not broken, your brain is just trying to protect you. Panic and anxiety are related but not the same. A panic attack is a sudden, intense storm, overwhelming but brief. Anxiety is a persistent, lower-level drizzle, less intense but longer-lasting. Panic focuses on immediate catastrophe. Anxiety worries about future threats. Physical symptoms differ too. Panic is sharp and intense, anxiety is milder and chronic. You can have one without the other, but they often overlap. Sometimes fear of panic attacks creates ongoing anxiety. Knowing the difference helps you choose the right coping strategies. Understanding your experience is the first step to managing it. Panic attacks can feel random, but they're often triggered by specific situations, thoughts, or sensations. Crowded places, enclosed spaces, or social situations are common triggers. The fear of being trapped or judged can activate your brain's alarm. Even harmless physical sensations, like a racing heart after coffee, can become triggers if you fear them. This creates a vicious cycle. Fear of symptoms triggers more panic. Internal thoughts and memories, especially of past panic, can also set off new attacks. Stressful life events lower your threshold for panic. Identifying your personal triggers is key. When you know what sets off your alarm, you can prepare and use coping skills. Gradual exposure and planning help you regain control. Awareness is your first defense. Often it's our thoughts that intensify panic. Catastrophizing, imagining the worst, turns minor sensations into disasters. All-or-nothing thinking sets impossible standards, making any anxiety feel like total failure. Fortune-telling, predicting disaster, creates anxiety before anything even happens. These mind traps make panic more likely and more intense. The first step is noticing these patterns. What am I telling myself right now? Recognize thoughts as just thoughts, not facts. This is the heart of cognitive behavioral therapy. By challenging distorted thinking, you loosen panic's grip. You can learn to talk back to your panic with reason and balance. In the midst of panic, when your heart is racing and your thoughts are spiraling, it can feel like you're losing control. The intensity of the moment can be overwhelming, making it difficult to think clearly or make rational decisions. It's a frightening experience, but it's important to remember that you're not alone, and there are strategies you can use to regain your composure. In these moments, you need tools you can use right away. Practical, accessible techniques that can help you ground yourself and navigate the immediate crisis. These tools are designed to be simple and effective, providing a lifeline when you feel like you're drowning in anxiety. Deep, slow breathing calms your nervous system. It's a physiological reset button, slowing your heart rate and signaling to your brain that you're safe. This simple act can interrupt the panic response and create a sense of calm amidst the chaos. A simple technique is to inhale deeply for 4, hold briefly, and then exhale slowly for 6. This extended exhale is key, as it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the rest and digest response. Repeat this several times, focusing on the sensation of the breath entering and leaving your body. Mindfulness brings your attention to the present, anchoring you in the here and now, interrupting racing thoughts that fuel anxiety. By focusing on the present moment, you can break free from the cycle of worry and rumination. Focus intently on your breath, noticing the rise and fall of your chest, or the subtle sounds around you, like the hum of a refrigerator or the rustling of leaves outside. Grounding techniques like the 5-4-3-2-1 method are powerful tools for bringing you back to reality. They use your senses to anchor you in the moment, pulling you away from distressing thoughts and feelings. Start by naming 5 things you see in your immediate environment, paying attention to their details. Then identify 4 things you can physically feel, like the texture of your clothing or the ground beneath your feet. Next, acknowledge 3 distinct sounds you hear, whether they are near or far. Then bring your attention to 2 things you can smell, even if they are faint. Finally, name 1 thing you can taste. These skills get stronger with consistent practice. The more you incorporate them into your daily routine, the more readily available they will be when you need them most. So try them when you're calm, when you're not in a state of panic, so they're readily available and more effective when you need them. Think of it as a fire drill for your mind, preparing yourself for moments of intense stress or anxiety. Regular practice builds new brain pathways, strengthening the connection between these techniques and your ability to find calm. This rewiring of your brain makes calm more accessible, allowing you to tap into it more easily and quickly. These aren't magic solutions, but they work by engaging your body's natural calming mechanisms. The more you use them, the easier it gets to access a sense of calm and control in challenging situations. With consistent effort, you can train your body and mind to respond differently to stress, shifting from a state of panic to one of calm resilience. Remember, calm is a skill you can build, a muscle you can strengthen, and a resource you can always access with practice. Long-term change comes from rewiring your brain. Challenge negative thoughts by acting as your own detective. What's the evidence? Is there another explanation? Write down panicked thoughts and counter them with balanced responses. Over time, this strengthens your rational brain and weakens fear patterns. Exposure therapy is another powerful tool. Gradually face what you fear in small, safe steps. Stay in the situation until anxiety fades. This teaches your brain it's not dangerous. Each success rewires your amygdala, building new memories of safety. You can even practice with physical sensations, like making yourself dizzy, to prove you can handle them. Facing fears, not avoiding them, builds real confidence. You're not erasing fear, but learning you can survive it. Every step forward is a victory. Overcoming panic is about more than managing attacks, it's about building resilience. A strong support system is vital. Talk to friends, family, or a therapist. You don't need to have all the answers, just being heard helps. Professional help, like therapy, is a sign of strength. Managing stress is key. Regular exercise, good sleep, and a healthy diet all help. Limit caffeine and alcohol to keep your nervous system steady. Lean into your strengths and do things that bring you joy, hobbies, nature, creativity. These activities remind you that you are more than your anxiety. Be patient with yourself. Progress isn't linear. The goal isn't to eliminate fear, but to change your relationship with it. Celebrate every small win. You have the strength to build a life defined by courage, not fear. You're capable of resilience and calm.